Hello, I am back again with a new video for today. I haven't done this before, so we'll see how it goes, if this is fun or not. But since I got some questions about my OCs specifically, I wanted to make a video kind of introducing some of them, and some of them that you will see more often in my sketchbook. So I'm going to draw a few of them today when I open up to this blank page. So we're going to start with some of my characters that you maybe have seen more often, and that's Cameron and Milo. And I'm going to try to draw and talk, and it's going to be difficult, but if there's weird blank space in between my sketching, it's because of that. So I'm going to draw them kind of like chibi today, because if I tried to draw a bunch, you would not be able to tell. My dog is growling at the door. Can she not do that, please? But we would be here for forever if I tried to draw them like realistically. So Cameron is kind of like the protagonist of one of the bigger stories that I have. And that story is called The Tissue Paper Ghost. And I won't spoil anything, but the basic premise is that Cameron, he was born with a chronic illness that at a certain point in his life, he dies from. And instead of like passing on to whatever other side or anything, he ends up making a deal with this kind of like demon-esque creature to continue living in, and they make a deal. So like the creature, which I'll draw him soon too, his name is Aries. He's what's known as a shade, and shades make deals with like humans who are on the brink of death to, it's like a debt type of system where shades are like ghosts, and they can only interact with the human world if they make deals with humans that are on the brink of death to kind of become hunters for them, like bounty hunters kind of. It's all about like trading souls, like the essence of your soul for more life kind of. So shades can't pass on to the other side until they have collected enough souls to do so. So Cameron is one of these hunters for Aries, and this is probably going to sound super like complicated because I don't have it written out or anything. And so he becomes one of these hunters for Aries, and there's a whole plot to all of it and all of that stuff. So Cameron is kind of our main protagonist, and then our second protagonist is Milo. And Milo is like childhood best friends with Cameron, and he grows up kind of in an unstable household environment, and so spends a lot of time over with Cameron, kind of living their childhood together and stuff. And so Milo, when he becomes older, he ends up getting into a car accident, and that's what kills him. It sounds very dark, but I promise you it's not like horrible. It has a happy ending. It just starts off very dark. And instead of him making a deal with the shade that he meets, she gives up her life for him, or like the rest of her soul debt, whatever. And that causes Milo to be in this like gray area where he is no longer like bound to a shade, but instead he's able to kind of roam on his own with this power, and he becomes wanted by all of the shades and hunters that are after him and stuff. His head looks really small here, it's kind of funny. And so he ends up becoming hunted by all of them, and that's kind of what starts off the story, is when Cameron finds out about this person who is Milo, but he doesn't know that it's him yet. So I don't know, it's interesting, it's fun to write about. I've had these characters for a very long time, so I've kind of have a lot of their lore fleshed out, but then I haven't done anything with it. I tried to write a book, and I wrote I think like 16 chapters and then gave up because I lost motivation, but maybe I'll revisit that. Maybe I've seen some people want like a webtoon or something, but I don't even know how to start with that. So like that may be a future thing that I could try. And I'll draw Aries here. Aries' backstory, because shades are like ghosts pretty much. They aren't just like these, they turn into creatures. They used to be people. So, that's too small. Aries, is a part of kind of like the overarching plot. He's kind of the guy that causes a lot of the problems for these two. And Cameron and Milo, when their whole plot kicks off, it's kind of when they're towards the end of high school into like young adulthood. And so there's a lot there with them about it. But Aries, when he died, he was an adult, and he got wrapped up in all of the drama due to kind of a mafia-like structure, but it interacts with the shade world. So there's an overarching like bad guy that no one knows about, and I won't name who it is because that would be spoilers. And I haven't really talked about it much, but there's an overarching bad guy who runs this mafia to collect the souls of people. So he has these shades and their hunters go out and hunt certain people for them in order to collect a bunch of soul, because soul is like a currency. It's also what makes you the most powerful. And Aries was a human that worked with these shades and hunter to kill people. He supplied them with drugs and things like that, and poisons that could aid in those things happening. And so because of that, he ended up wanting to escape that life, and then ended up getting killed because of his betrayal. And so there's more lore to him than just that, but that's kind of all I'll say on that matter now. And I don't think I will make like a proper video talking about these characters and like starting from the beginning and stuff with each of them, because there's a lot of overlap between all of their stories. That's also part of the reason why I found it so difficult to write, was because of all of the different characters' kind of interactions with each other in the plot, not like in person, but like in the plot with each other. They all have very interesting types of things that happen. I almost forgot his horns. So I don't know. They're kind of the ones that I have the most like information on and figured out. I do have other characters that don't take place in this world that are just different things. I have a ton of characters in this world. Like I think I probably have 20 or so that like either are side characters or just kind of like exist in the shade realm for all of that. But so those are the main three. These are just little simplified doodles. Moving on to, or I'll put like the tissue paper ghost. That's the acronym for it. Moving on to a different world. We're shifting. I have a different color. Orange-ish red, I think. This is the world, or I have like multiple. I think I'm sticking to 3 today. We'll see how long this video gets, because I might only just do 3 or 4. I have multiple different types of character worlds, and those are the characters that you will see. So this one is the world of Killand. I don't remember. I think there's 2 L's in it. I can't remember. So Killand includes Leanne and Nikolai. And those two, this whole world kind of takes place in almost like a soft fantasy. I don't know the word to describe like the worlds that have like kings and queens, and it's about like politics in that sense, but kind of that like medieval times-ish. But with a lot of mythology, less on the magic, but more like how the mythology of the time takes place. So I'm gonna actually start with Nikolai because he's the main character in this. Now, this story I would actually be more interested in like writing a book for, just because the plot is a lot more linear than like the Tissue Paper Ghost. And it's a bit more like, it has less themes to it. Like the Tissue Paper Ghost is very like themed based on the character's themes, so there's a lot more components to it. This one is less so. So Nikolai, he comes from a family in a place called Celis. And Celis is this mountain kingdom region. There's like kind of 3 different regions that are broken up in the world of Killand. There is the center area with the city of Killand inside of it. There's the south, and then there's the north, which is where Nikolai is, and he lives in the kingdom of Celis. So Celis is this very cold, barren, mountainous kingdom, and their whole thing is that they trade valuable ores for resources, so for like food and grains and things, because they can't produce anything themselves. They have to trade with the other 2 regions. And so the south is primarily a farming place or farming kingdom, and so they're often trading with Killand and then through Killand into the north, because it kind of like goes diagonal on a map. And so because of that, Killand is a trading town, and so they are very rich because they profit off of trading those types of goods to Celis and then the south and other places. And Celis, like I said, is a very cold, barren place. So Nikolai is one of like, I think 7 princes in Celis, and there's tension in between these 3 states because the south is starting an uprising because they don't like how they're being just basically used for their labor, and they don't end up with any of the valuable goods that like Killand has. But the thing is that everything, if the south uprises, then everything else goes bad. And so Nikolai is sent to ally with the kingdom of Killand in order to provide allyship in case if the south end up going bad for the south. And so he's sent to marry Leanne to kind of prevent war, and then stuff happens from there. And also like one of the central themes for this is like the whole balancing of like powers, like choosing the greater good, things like that, kind of like your typical medieval, like, I don't know, all of that stuff. And then also having a non-binary person, which Leanne is non-binary. I really wanted to have like a non-binary royal figure because that's something that I don't really see a lot in media and things like that, and I wanted to see if I could play with Nikolai's feelings around that to try to have a character who is a little more closed off from the outside world, because Celis is very much of like a independent type of place, and have another character introduced into a different culture and trying to figure that out and adapt to it and kind of grow his points of views. The whole kind of like driving theme for Killand is just being more accepting and aware of the things around you and understanding. That's kind of like the main themes of it, is stuff like that. I think with the Tissue Paper Ghost, that story is a lot around like mental health and like I said, like more character driven. So like each character has their own struggles, and so that's more that there's less of like that center stuff, whereas Killand is much more like based on like what I said, like being more aware. There's also mythology to it about like the actual geology of the land and how Killand came to be. So like in the past, in their own mythology, there was a dragon or water serpent or something that ravaged the land and made all of the crops and everything unable, because it was just like swamps. And then a knight came through and slayed the dragon, and then now there's a dam that holds back all of this water from the ocean that allows for Killand to be this prosperous place. And that dam, if anything were to happen to it, would just destroy all of Killand and all of their livelihood. So that's also like the stakes of the story. So Leanne over here is our other kind of main protagonist. How I would have set up the books is I think it would be a duology. So the first book would be solely Nikolai and his problems and his kind of change into this new life that he's living. And then plot twist happens and they get separated for some time. And then the second book, or it would end on that separation point. And then the second book would be told through a split POV of both. So then you kind of get to understand Leanne's point and perspective on everything that has happened so far. The only reason why like I have struggles writing is mainly because I think I'm dyslexic, and so like finding words to just like I can say the words, but finding the right words, like how to spell, is very difficult for me. So maybe I should just start like talking or something. I don't know, because I know that there's like a feature that you can either get or something where you talk and the Google Docs will like write it for you. But I say a lot too, so I don't know if that would be a very viable way to do that. But Leanne is here. They're kind of a self-projection character because I'm gender fluid and I wanted to make like a queer, non-binary type of character who I can project some feelings onto, at least in like how that would look like in a relationship with not a necessarily a non-binary partner, because Nikolai is just a guy, he's just chilling there, but he has not ever experienced something like that. So whereas Leanne like knows who they are and is very confident in that sense, so them having a romance, or like, because that's also part of the story is also more of a romance story than the Tissue Paper Ghost. Like I do have relationships that happen in that, it's just less focused than in this one. So moving on to the third one, which I think this will be the last one just because my voice is getting very tired and I don't want to destroy it. Now I don't really have a name for this. I kind of group it into like Killen. Like if Killen had lore, this is where it would take place. But I have my like anthropomorphic characters. I'm just gonna put it as AC. So this is gonna be like Liar and Fallon, and then my moth characters. I'm not gonna draw my moth characters because I don't have a specific reference for them yet, but I'll draw Liar and Fallon. And both of them are also take place in kind of a hierarchical, I can't say that, like king-queen type of scenario, except with them, it's low-key, it sounds like Zootopia, but I promise it's not Zootopia. It's around like animals and the types of like, I guess, powers that they have. But it's more almost around like what those animals would represent in society. So kind of more of like maybe a, I don't know, like spiritual type of thing. So like foxes are known for being tricksters, right? In like a lot of mythology and things like that. And so I wanted to make characters kind of around our ideas of what these symbols are. So Liar is a thief, and he loves to steal from the castle, kind of like a Flynn Rider-esque type character. I don't have quite as much like backstory for either of the characters. I more so have just focused on like their relationship with each other. And so Liar is a thief that steals from the castle. And he often gets caught by Fallon, and Fallon is kind of this like doesn't care, apathetic type of character. He does have like a very strong sense of justice, but he doesn't care about Liar because he knows that Liar isn't actually doing anything bad. Because Liar is almost more like a Robin Hood type of thing, where he's just doing it because he wants to help his people. And Fallon knows this, and so he just kind of lets him, almost like enables his behavior, even though they know it's bad. And so I like to play around with their dynamic, because Liar's definitely like a very outgoing type of character, definitely more extroverted and a troublemaker, whereas Fallon is like the rule follower, kind of just messing around with like how their dynamic would look, because it's very fun. I kind of like wonder, it kind of gives like Wei Wuxian and Long Wen Ji vibes almost, because I have a problem, but I don't know, they're fun to think about and to draw. I especially love drawing Liar because I enjoy drawing those characters that are more out there going, because I can draw them to be more expressive, because I myself am not like a very expressive person. I am definitely more of an introvert, and so I'll try to make this guy quicker. Fallon is not super difficult for me to draw because he just kind of has wavy hair. Oh, I forgot, he has like a middle. He doesn't have a part in the middle. I do need to expand my hairstyles a bit more, because I do realize that I give a lot of my characters middle parts. And that's mostly, I think, because I myself have a middle part, and so I'm just like so used to it, but they're fun. But yeah, so if you have like any comments about my characters, I'm just doing this for fun, and because, I don't know, I was bored, want to make a video. I mainly do these when my parents are like out to eat, so that they don't either bother me, or it's just the house is quieter. The dog's not constantly barking at the door, even though she still does that anyways. So yeah, so a lot of these are my characters. Some of these drawings are a little botched, like this one. Oh, I forgot he has like this eye thing, because he's a bird. Yeah, Fallon is a bird. I didn't talk about him, but he's I think I made him some type of prey bird, or not prey bird, like, what are they called? Birds of prey, or something like that, where they kill things. And so he's a guard, and that's his whole thing, is that he guards, but he doesn't do it very well, but no one finds out because he's actually pretty good about hiding it. And they get up to trouble, and Liar just tries to get him into further trouble, and it's a whole thing. They're fun. He has darker skin too, so I'm gonna shade that in. But yeah, if you have any questions about the characters, you can ask me. If you have any more like requests or ideas of what to do, I'll take them. I just have little characters, they're so silly, little chibi. And then this isn't my new sketchbook, so we'll see. This one isn't as big as the previous one, so it hopefully won't take as long to fill up. Like, I've done some pages so far. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.